And we're back. Joining me is Alan Ni, Director of Smart Spaces and IoT for Aruba. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I'm excited because we've got a demo. So first, let's tell people a little bit about Aruba and what you do.
Yeah, so Aruba is, at its core, we're probably best known for enterprise networking. We are a networking company. We're part of Hewlett Packard Enterprise. We serve many of the largest universities, high-performance workplaces, retail environments, et cetera, even government, three-letter agencies.
Yeah.
Right?
Which we won't mention. You are one of the two biggest networking companies in the US and possibly the world.
In the world, yeah.
And what's interesting is as we move into this world of IoT, it's you guys who are kind of pushing the innovation. And let's talk about, from what you've brought here, some of what you're doing with networking, Wi-Fi, and many other things.
Yeah, I mean, we've been absolutely really happy to participate at Realcomm, and we've seen over the past, I think, year or two, a lot of focus around this connected sort of building, connecting people, connecting things. And this year specifically, not just here, but elsewhere, a lot of focus around 5G.
Yeah.
Right? And we love the idea around 5G because it's really bringing top of mind, hey, for these new buildings, the absolute requirement to connect our people, our things. It needs to be reliable, it needs to be consistent, it needs to be secure.
Yeah.
Right? So we have a lot of interest there. And with us, our DNA is around mobility. And we see, in the vast majority of real estate, the de facto way of connecting things has been Wi-Fi.
Right.
Right? And we've been doing a lot of thought leadership here to say, it ain't your grandma's Wi-Fi.
Right.
Right? There's actually been 6 generations of the technology, and it's come a long, long way.
Yeah.
Right? So related to kind of one of the demos that we were showing at the booth is there's been a lot of discussion around how do we provide not just our building occupants, but visitors access, frictionless access to a 5G sort of experience.
Because, I mean, to come in here, just to get on the internet here, I had to find a hidden network or sign in, or in the hotel next door, what is your room number, what is your last name? It's a little bit tedious, it's a little cumbersome. What are you doing at Aruba to make it better?
A great thing. Yeah, if I'm in a mall, if I walk into a chocolate store,
Sure.
am I going to join their Wi-Fi? No, I'm going to stick on the network that I'm on, and hopefully the coverage is good. Yeah, so we as an industry, the Wi-Fi industry, we've been working. There's actually a technology called Passpoint, which basically takes the SIM card, from your phone, from your provider's phone, and we're actually authenticating it to enterprise-grade Wi-Fi-based systems to be able to get folks onto the network. And what's different is instead of actually looking for a sign to say, here's free Wi-Fi, I think we're a music center, so MCC Wi-Fi, join this, and go through a captive portal.
Right.
The phone is already doing all of that on your behalf, and it's doing it securely. And a lot of the bad rap of being on an open network, we've heard about this, don't use airport Wi-Fi or whatever, you're now on secure sort of connection with basically, that's some of the security we talked about, some of those organizations and agencies actually use to secure, wireless traffic.
And so Aruba is providing that.
Yeah.
Can you show us how?
Yeah, so actually, if we can just see my iPad on screen here, we're actually running, we have a single access point, believe it or not, in our booth.
Right here on the trade show floor.
Yeah, on the trade show floor.
Yeah.
I only have 10 staff here, right? So what we've showed here is, over the past day, we've actually connected over, I think at this point, over 700 devices through this network, right? And if you go run a speed test on our access point, it's just one, not really, the best way to deploy it.
Sure.
Right? But, we're getting north of 50 megabits per second up and down, right? So I would say that's a pretty good experience, right?
Yeah, of course.
Now you put it in the context of a building, right? And maybe I don't have a big building, but I happen to have, I'm on the 30th story of a building and there's poor cellular coverage, right? In an office suite. I already have an existing investment perhaps in wireless technology. And now if you were a guest of mine and if you were maybe one of these AT&T users, you would just be able to come in and your phone would automatically join. If I were to call you, that voice call, similar to what's happening at home, would just go over the Wi-Fi network.
Yeah, superior tenant experience without all of the hassle, and that's just one of the many things that you provide your clients. Is there anything else that you do to future-proof building and communications for the next?
Actually, I'll show you another demo. So
Sure.
once again, we're really around user experience, right? So we're also delving into the world of IoT. So we have an IoT sensor in the room that's actually measuring the experience continually, in this case, over a Wi-Fi sort of system. So this is a product that we have. We call it the User Experience Insight Sensor. And if you see here, we've been monitoring this network. And you can see here, with the booth, we had to set up the booth. There was power outages. It's telling me, hey, network went down, not because the network went down, but the power went down. This is not our Wi-Fi system. This is actually the actual venue system. And you see they've even had some
outages,
coverage, right? So there's a good way, if you have SLAs, to keep your provider honest.
Sure,
Right?
sure, and make sure they're not overcharging you.
Correct.
So sensors, networks, apps, you're really doing a lot of this. Where does artificial intelligence come into any of this?
Yeah, actually, a great question. We've been investing a lot in our artificial intelligence, machine learning. These networks are dynamic, particularly wireless networks, right? And typically the way they're configured is, we're building a new building, let's bring the smart people in, configure it all, and then those configurations basically, that's it. It never changes, but the environment continues to change.
Right.
RF continues to change. We're leveraging a lot of AI, machine learning techniques to, for example, optimize RF plans, channel level powers, et cetera, to really continually deliver a high quality of service.
Fantastic. Anything else we need to know about Aruba? I mean, there are people here who are making decisions, and they really want to know which way to go. Alec, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I think from our standpoint, we're a networking provider. Traditionally, networking in our class is provided through the tenant.
Yeah.
Right? Less of the building owner, the developer. But as building construction starts to evolve, and you're starting to see more club-like sort of areas, more shared areas, people want a consistent experience throughout the entire facility.
Right.
So we're starting to talk to a lot more commercial folks that are starting to think about, hey, I need a true platform across the building to connect people. Another piece that we've had now 2 years running is that's maybe a little more aligned with occupant experiences. We actually have, we are the platform and probably the go-to platform for indoor location, like indoor GPS for a lot of buildings, right? There's a lot of smaller companies in this space, but organizations want to be able to push this across millions of square feet, and they really need enterprise-grade, scalable solution.
Yeah.
And with our access points and the coverage that we already have, and tying that in to that existing footprint, with the management and the visibility, really allows us to deliver it at scale.
Fantastic. Last thoughts as we begin to round out the end of this year. From the themes you're seeing here at Realcomm 2019, how does that interplay with what you've come to this conference with, the thinking that you brought here?
Yeah, I think it really aligns with a lot of what we've done, what's been in the DNA in the company, right? One of our taglines has always been, people move, networks must follow, right? And that was, maybe started 10 years ago when people really just thought about networks.
Right.
Right, but these experiences need to follow, and what you see in the ecosystem here, just an incredible amount of technology, software, user occupant sort of experience. From our standpoint, at the end of the day, to really push this into the masses, you need to really be able to connect these things. You need to worry about security, the cyber sort of threats, and then there's things like identity and context.
Yeah.
That if we want to make things more occupant focused, we're going to need some of that metadata to be able to customize those experiences, and that's what we're able to deliver.
Yeah.
And just having a great set of APIs,
Yeah.
being more modern to be able to really intercommunicate with a lot of these new generation players has really allowed us to flourish with the ecosystem.
Terrific. Alan, thank you so much for being here, for bringing Aruba here, and for showing us where your head is at in 2019.
Great. Hey,
Fantastic.
thank you so much.
Thank you.